All right. There's still NWSL action taking place this weekend coming on up. It's week 15, but let's not act like there might not be a little bit of senioritis. There's a break on the horizon as well in regular season play. There will be some Challenge Cup matches that take place over the course of this World Cup period. So we saved the picks for NWSL for last. So stick with us. We're gonna run through these and make our predictions of what we might see in the final weekend of regular season play before a break happens for these club in the regular season. So let's start with Orlando Pride versus OL Reign. This one is going to kick things off Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern. Let's take a look at these two teams. Orlando versus the Reign. You have a winner or a loser? You got a draw, Lisa?
I have a draw in this one. OL Reign, they're coming off a 2-2 draw in which they came from behind against Racing Louisville last week and ended up splitting the points. That's their their second draw in their last 3 regular season matches. They're also without Jess Fishlock during this international break, who we did get to see last week. Of course, she's with Wales. We just talked about her in the first 40 minutes of this episode. So with that being said, Orlando, they're coming off a really massive on the road 3-0 win over Washington Spirit. This game is going to be played at home for the Pride. I think it'll give them a boost, but it's going to be hard for them to kind of stay on track of 3 goals in that situation against a tough OL Reign backline. So I'm going with a draw between these two sides.
I respect it. Coming out of the gates early with a draw. I want to go the other way. I love what we're seeing out of OL Reign this season. We talk a lot about the depth and flexing things, and I think we're going to continue to see that moving forward in this game. I want to see Elise Bennett with another strong performance. I want to see Headers FC, Balser and Bennett connecting once more. I'm going to go the other way. I'm going to go Reign with this one. I think they're going to walk out with a win. I think it might be narrow, though. It's tough. Orlando's been kind of streaky for me. They could surprise you, and sometimes they could surprise you in a not so good kind of way. So I'm going to go Reign in this one and say they finally break through and crack and get through all 3 points. Let's pivot to another game that's kicking off on Friday. We've got Racing Louisville versus Kansas City Current. This one kicking off Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern. I'm excited for this one. Anytime we get a chance to get another look at some of these central region teams, I think it gets kind of weird and it gets kind of wild. And I'm hopeful that we'll get to see some of that energy in this game as well. I'm going to go with the Current in this one, Lisa. I think they're going to walk away with a win. How about that?
I am also going with the Kansas City Current. I think they're back to their winning ways. They've got a lot of good firepower back in their lineup, whether it's Morgan Gautreau, Michelle Cooper, Kristen Hamilton. I've been really impressed with Alexis Spanstra, another rookie. She's combining well with Cooper up top. And I've talked about Michelle Cooper, number 2 draft pick for the Current. She's getting things rolling. She's starting to pick up points. She's starting to get goals. She's starting to feel herself and feel confident. Now's the time she takes off. 3 straight weeks for KC, 3 straight wins for me. I like that we're both going with the Current in this central region matchup for the Midwest.
Oh yeah, for sure. I think look, there's going to be some players missing for Racing Louisville. I'm mostly thinking about Savannah DeMello in this one, but the Current are showing that they're getting some of their pieces back, and they're also showing that they're about to be that second half team again. So they're starting off strong, I think, for this second half of the season. And I think they want a win before they go off on break. So we're both going Current. Let's pivot to Houston Dash versus Chicago Red Stars. This one also kicking off on Friday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. We got a triple header to begin week 15. Houston Dash versus Chicago Red Stars. I'm going Houston in this one, Lisa. I like the play out of Chicago. Of course, I'm rocking my Chicago hat right now. But if there's one thing I know about Chicago, it's tough for them to play away at Houston. So maybe this one's going to be a gritty grinder of a match, and maybe they have enough for a draw. But something about playing in Houston always comes back to haunt this Red Stars team. And honestly, if I'm the Dash, you want this game. You need to want this game. They've been hovering in that 7th seed for so long. They have been struggling to finally leapfrog and make that jump into the upper half of the table. They absolutely need to look at this game as that opportunity, and I hope they do. So I'm going Dash in this one.
I like that. I could have seen this one as a draw. I thought you were going to pick it as a draw. I like to pick for you and for me, and
I
then
love
see
it.
see where I land up for you. But you did not pick a draw. You went with Houston. I'm also going to go with the Dash in this one. You're exactly right. Houston's been hovering in the middle of the table. They were 3 straight draws heading into last week, and they lost on a breaker of a 1 goal to North Carolina last week. And the defense for Houston has been tremendous. They're one of the stingiest. They are the stingiest in the league. Jane Campbell suffered not getting that clean sheet last week, and it hurt her. Now, good news for Houston. They didn't get a red card last week. That's the first time that's happened in 3 weeks where they didn't suffer a red card. So they'll have Katie Lind back, Natalie Jacobs back. Their center back pairing is back for Sam Lady and this Houston side. They're playing at home. They play pretty well at home this year because it is really hard for opposition to come in with the heat and the humidity and play against this Dash side. And although Chicago is coming off a win last week, they got a 1-0 win over San Diego Wave. It was massive for them. I don't think it's going to carry through this week. And frankly, I think Houston's pretty pissed off about last week's North Carolina 1-0 loss that they couldn't pull out. So I'm also going to go with Dash in this one.
All right. I feel it. I like that we're both going Dash. Let's pivot to Saturday, finally. The headliner, the one and only San Diego Wave FC versus Washington Spirit, the Soul game on Saturday, kicking off at 10 p.m. Eastern. I got to say, I kept this one as a draw, Lisa. I just don't know if there's going to be enough from either side to finally pick up a result. San Diego coming off of tough loss. Couple of tough losses. They're on a losing streak in this regular season so far with 3 games gone. And the Spirit looking like they're still trying to figure things out with so many of their key players gone for the international window here with the World Cup coming up. I still think they're going to have another week where they're trying to figure things out. And I think it's going to translate to a draw on the pitch. How about you?
I mean, Sad Dingus in our chat right now saying, I have no idea which way this team goes. I kind of get it. You're going with a draw. Both of these teams on a skid, as you mentioned, Spirit coming off back-to-back losses. San Diego, 3 straight losses, a draw before that. In their last 5, they've picked up 1 win. They've got to get back on the winning side and the right side of things. And I think this is the week for Casey Stoney and the San Diego Wave side. They've had 2 weeks now where they've been without their U.S. internationals, where Danielle Colaprico has kind of found her way in the midfield, playing with Doniak in front of her, Shaw, whether it's Amira Ali or Rachel Hill in that front line. And I think Amira Ali is going to have a moment. She can have a moment during these next few weeks. Now's the time when she steps up. She kicks it into gear. They're going up against this Washington Spirit side that's without their starting goalkeeper, missing some key pieces in the midfield that they have. This is going to be an opportunity for San Diego to turn the script around. After 3 straight losses, they've got to pick things up. Now's the time for them. I'm leaning on them. I've also been impressed with goalkeepers and the back line that they've struggled with. And Kaylee Reel, now is when she can really step in and own this back line after a lot of changes, missing Sheridan and Garma in the back line. So I'm going to go Wave.
All right. I like that. Look, let's take a look at Sunday. We got a doubleheader. Gotham FC versus Portland Thorns. Portland on the road in this one. This one kicking off on Sunday at 5:30 p.m. Eastern. I got to say, I kept it real. I wanted to pick a draw for every single one of these games this week. I'm not going to lie. There's a little bit of senioritis that comes into play when you know you have a break right on that horizon. Ourselves included. We're just kind of like, hey, maybe we just might see a little bit of like, let's clock in, get in there, and get out. I think I'm going to go with another draw in this game, Lisa. I can't help it. When I look at these two teams, again, figuring some things out with some players missing along the way. Gotham kind of streaky for June, going into July as well. Who is going to be that player to step up and kind of grab the moment, right? Grab the opportunity in players missing. I don't know if we've seen that just yet. And I'm also looking for that in Portland as well. So I think this might be a draw.
I see a draw for sure. I mean, you're exactly right. Across the board, these could all be draws, and that would be just a heck of a historic weekend in the NWSL Week 15. I'm going Gotham. I think Abby Smith in goal for them has done such a good job. I think she keeps it this way moving forward with the shutouts that she's been getting and not letting goals in. Morgan Weaver has been amazing for Portland. Can she keep that going? Can she try to get on the end of things and be consistent, right? That's what I want from Morgan Weaver. But I think Abby Smith's going to keep everything out, so which could make it a draw. I'm not going to lie there. However, I'm going to go with Gotham because you're picking too many draws, and I just have to stick with a win on this one. I'm going to go Gotham.
All right, I respect it. Well, I got a different result for this last game. Angel City FC versus North Carolina Courage. This one closing things out on Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern. We've got interim head coach Becky Tweed undefeated across four matches across all competitions right now. She's doing well. The team is responding to the changes for the personnel right now, and they're performing in a way which maybe they wanted to earlier in the season, but they're doing it now in the second half. But they're going up against North Carolina Courage, which really probably the most informed team right now in the league. And I'm going with a clear winner in this one. I think all good things, fun things come to an end. And I think the Courage are going to disappoint Angel City in this one and walk away with the win.
So you think North Carolina Courage is going to get the win?
I do.
Okay, I like that. Yeah, North Carolina Courage is really in good form right now. They're playing consistent football. They have been without 6 internationals now headed into this break, and Sean Nahas isn't changing up his form, isn't changing up the game plan for what he wants to play. I've been really impressed. 4 straight wins for the Courage. They sit atop the table. Angel City, they've dropped in recent weeks. They're at number 11 in the standings. They've picked up points in their last 3 games. As you mentioned, Becky Tweed, she is technically undefeated in the last 3 in her 3 games as interim head coach, but they've been 2 draws in the last 2 weeks. I think they're going to get another draw. So I'm going to go North Carolina, staying undefeated. They get their 5th straight game with points, and with Angel City, they get their 3rd straight draw. I'm going to go with a tie in this one.